crossing the shins. Kind of pull all the flesh out from under you so that you feel even on both sits bones. Sitting up tall, we're just going to take a few moments to wake up the breath. You can keep your eyes open, or if it feels better to close them, go ahead and close them for a few moments. Let's take a deep breath in. Let it come through the nose. Open up your mouth and really push the breath out. We'll do that again. Inhaling deep through the nose. Pushing the breath out through the mouth. As I speak, continue those breaths. I want you to envision that every time you take that breath in, the breath is already creating space. Let the rib cage open up and flare. You might feel the heart open. You might feel the back ribs open. When you exhale, I want you to put effort into breathing all of that air out and feel everything come back together and soften. So shoulders relax, expression relaxes. Okay? Let's work on a few more breaths that way. Deeply inhaling, creating space. Deeply exhaling, softening. 2 more times. Breath and energy coming in. A little bit of the load lifting as you breathe out. 1 more time. Deep, spacious breath in. Let it fully come out. Just continue to breathe in whatever feels good to you. You can keep your lips open for now and continue breathing out through the mouth, or you can begin your Ujjayi breath, keeping your lips sealed. I'd like to start on our backs now. So you're gonna spin around onto your back. Keep your knees bent and your feet about shoulder width apart. Anchor down the shoulder blades. Just let them become as heavy as possible, and just rest your arms alongside you. Next time you inhale, bring your right knee towards your chest. And as you exhale, you're gonna reach it up to the ceiling and circle it back to starting position. Inhale, bring it in towards your chest, flexing the hip. Exhale, lengthen, reach, and drag the heel back. We're gonna do that 3 more times on the right. Big inhale, flex. Exhale, lengthen, reach, and drag it back. Let's do it 2 more times. Inhaling in, exhaling up and reaching and lengthening. 1 more time on this right side. Breath in and a breath out. We'll continue on to the left side that same way. Inhale, knee comes in. Exhale, lengthen, reach, and drag it back. Inhale, creasing at the hip. Exhale, lengthen, stretch out the back line of your leg, reach the heel, drag it back. Let's do 3 more on this left side. And lengthen. Keep working on the breath. Let the breath begin to ground you. Allow the breath to sort of help you continue arriving, especially when we practice in the afternoon. We've had a full day of events already, so let's try to just arrive into this space. You're going to keep your left foot down this time. Bring your feet together. As you inhale, let the knees fall open like Supta Baddha, and as you exhale, bring them back to center. A few breaths of that. Inhale, both knees gently fall open. You're on the outer edge of your feet. Exhale, squeeze the inner thighs to come back to center. Let's do it 3 more times. Big breath out, in, Big breath out. 2 more times. Just waking up the body, but also softening it as we begin to create space. 1 more time. Inhale, knees gently come apart. Exhale, bring them back to center. Now separate your feet. Drag the heels as close to your bum as you can. And inhale, curl your tailbone. Lift your pelvis up to the ceiling. Lift your chin, lift your gaze. We're going to breathe here for about 30 seconds. Activating that back line of the legs. Try and feel length through your sits bones and your tailbone as if you're reaching them towards your knees. Keep the breath steady. All right, we're stabilizing in preparation for movement. Let the heart be open. The shoulder girdle supporting you. Just a few more seconds. Take a giant breath in. And exhale, roll down through your spine. Bring the knees into the chest. Curl your tailbone underneath you as you draw them closer. Take a breath in. With your exhale, roll yourself up to seated. We're going to come over onto hands and knees now, aligning the wrists under the shoulders, the knees under the hips. We're doing just a few hip circles. So gliding slightly forward, out to the side, back, and other side. We'll do about 3 in each direction. All right, especially if you've been sitting a lot today, this is going to feel really good. Let's do one more circle to the right. Keep the breath going, and then let's reverse the circles. Just go in the opposite direction. Yeah, opening up some space through the lower spine, the outer hips. All that compression that we get during the day. One more circle. Okay, and then we're going to stabilize a little deeper. We're going to go into high plank, reaching one leg back. Anchor down onto the ball of the foot, push the heel back. Take the opposite leg back to meet it. Create a long line from the crown of your head to your heels. Keep the joints, the elbows and the knees, just a tiny bit soft. Pull the shoulders away from the ears. Notice the ribs. Try to reach them towards the hips towards the ribs. Take a breath in. And with your exhale, lower down to a low plank. Try and see if you can graze your ribs with your arms and melt yourself all the way down to the earth. All right. Untuck your toes. Reach the arms out in front of you. Right. On an inhale, lift the right arm and the left leg. Also head, neck, and shoulders rise. Exhale, coming back down. Keep your gaze down. Inhale, left arm, right leg, head, neck, and shoulders. Keep moving to the rhythm of your breath. I'll let you know when we have a couple left. Most importantly, keep the neck long, just simply by keeping your gaze down. Let every inhale take you up, every exhale take you down. Let's do one more on each side. And then slide the hands back under the shoulders. Bring the elbows in. Press into the tops of your feet. Bhujangasana. Peel the head, neck, and shoulders up off the earth, just to where you feel that you can stay organized. Okay, neck is long, in line with your spine. Feet are still anchored. Really bring the shoulder blades together. One more time. See if you can create more space above the shoulders. All right, let's try to hover the hands. Maybe come down just a little bit. Very lightly float your hands. Option to float the legs as well. As you lift your legs, try lengthening them even more. Keep your gaze just towards the front of your mat. Now we're going to swim the arms forward. Reach, reach, reach. And exhale, bend the elbows, bringing them back to starting position. 2 more times. Inhale, glide them forward. Exhale, shoulder blades slide down your back. 1 more time. Big breath in and reach. Full breath out, bring it back. Take an inhale, root down your hands and feet and lift as high as you can. Exhale, roll down. Come onto all fours again, tabletop. And then we'll sit in child's pose for a moment. In your child's pose, if you'd like more of a heart opener, I want you to keep your knees wide towards the outer edges of your mat. If you need a little bit more space through the lower spine, gather your knees a little closer together and stack them underneath your torso. That's what I'm going to do. And just settle in for a few breaths here. Notice if the mind is still quite busy. And let's start to use the breath to settle it. Right. Feel yourself remove from all those internal conversations, as if you're walking away from all of the noise in the mind space. Another good visual here is any thoughts that come floating in. Imagine they're like clouds, and with every breath that you exhale, feel the clouds separating. So you're creating this big blue sky of space behind that third eye center. I invite you to set an intention. I find it very helpful to keep me creating that sense of presence in my practice. I offer that to you. Let's take one more long breath in. Let it come through the nose again. And empty it all the way out through the mouth. Continue to breathe as you rise back to tabletop. Separating the knees if they're together. Take a breath in. Let's exhale into downward facing dog. First, tuck your toes in. Lift your hips as high as you can, and then reach them back as you pull the heart through the arms. You might want to walk your feet back a little bit here. And then let's take some movement. We've already warmed up and found some support through the back line of the legs. Now let's create a little bit more space, alternating the heels down, rooting down through every part of your hands, your knuckles, your fingers. Shake out your head. Make sure you're not holding on to any additional tension. Feel the tailbone lifting up and reaching back, and the heels rooting down. Doesn't matter if they touch the earth or not, just feel that sensation of constantly reaching towards it. Gather your belly together, make sure your center stays active. Let's take a breath in here and empty it all the way out. Bring your feet together and let's take three-legged dog, sending the right leg back and up. Try to keep your weight evenly distributed through both of your hands here. And then let's gently peel open that hip. Bend the knee. Stack the right hip on top of the left one. Might feel good to take some ankle rolls or even a whole hip circle here, whatever you need today. Just take a few breaths to gently open up the front of that right hip, the back of that right hip. If you took circles, reverse them. Next, inhale, reach the leg high. Exhale, replace that right foot down. We'll do the same on the left. Three-legged dog first, reaching back, lifting up. All right, organize your hands, your foundation, and then let's peel that side open. One more time, stack the hips. Whatever movement feels good here, we're integrating, so take your time. Do reverse your circles if you took some. And then let's lengthen that leg back to three-legged dog. Take a breath in. Exhale, replace the foot. Separate your feet, hips width distance apart. Inhale, lift the heels to the sky. Exhale, bend your knees, look forward. Walk to the front of your mat and take a rag doll. You know, I always love to start with this before we flow. Make sure your feet are wide. I like them a little wider than hips width distance. And then especially if you're feeling a little bit locked up anywhere in the hip area or in the back of the legs, rotate your feet a little bit outward, about 45 degrees. And then give the head another little shake. Let the arms hang down. And you'll feel that the weight of your torso and your head is actually creating that space through the spine, right? You're going towards gravity with the crown of your head, and just allow the spine to decompress for a few more breaths. You could absolutely take a bind here, hands to elbows, and if you like to move, you can sway side to side. Few more breaths here. If you took a bind, go ahead and switch, placing the opposite arm in front. Let's take about 3 more breaths here. And then release your bind. Heel toe your feet together. Slowly roll all the way up to standing. Sweep the arms above you. Take a giant breath in. And exhale, bring the hands to heart center. Close the eyes just for one more moment. Listen to your breath. Hopefully you're feeling that sense of arriving into this practice. Right? Nowhere else to be in this moment. Let's take a breath together, in through the nose. Let it out through the mouth. All right, release your hands, open your eyes. We're ready for sun salutations. All right, step to the front of your mat. If you're not already there, off we go. Inhale, sweep the arms above you. Exhale, swan dive down, hang your head. Inhale, lift halfway, try to lengthen your spine. Exhale, step back, high through low plank, chaturanga. Inhale, scooping into upward facing dog, pausing to open the heart. Exhale, downward facing dog. Take a breath in through the nose and out through the mouth. One more time. Deep, spacious breath in. Let it go. Let's flow. Inhale, lift the heels. Exhale, bend your knees, step or float to the front. Inhale, lift halfway, find that length. Exhale, fold, hanging your head. Inhale, roll all the way up to standing, the heart and the gaze lift. Exhale, dive down. Inhale, lift halfway, re-lengthen. Exhale, chaturanga, to the earth we go. Inhale, upward facing dog, big breath in, empty the breath, downward facing dog. Giant energetic breath in. Let that breath fully go, soften everything. Inhale, lift the heels. Exhale, bend the knees, come to the front. Inhale, lengthen halfway. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rising, just like the sun. And exhale, we set, fold all the way down. Inhale, lift halfway only. Exhale, chaturanga, back to the earth. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Take a couple of breaths on your own here. Whenever we pause, it's the opportunity to recharge, to reset, to reorganize, to stay present in your practice. Next, inhale, lift the heels high. Exhale, bend the knees, walk or float forward. Inhale, lift up halfway. Exhale, fold. Inhale, Utkatasana, chair pose. Try to find equal flexion in the ankles, the knees, the hips, all right? And that way we can distribute the weight as evenly as possible. Lengthen your spine. Feel the long line all the way through the crown of your head as you reach your arms alongside your ears. Root down firmly through both feet. Squeeze the inner thighs together, or if your feet are apart, just feel them reaching towards each other. Can you scoop your tailbone underneath you a little bit and find your low belly connection? Drop the ribs down. Keep the heart open, the shoulders soft. Take just one more breath in here. With your exhale, fold. Inhale, lift halfway and lengthen. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, Urdhva Mukha, upward facing dog. Exhale, Adho Mukha, downward facing. Pausing here. Make sure feet are at least hips width distance apart. Step your right foot through for warrior one. Replacing your right hand with your foot. Dial your left heel center. Sweep your arms above you. And then fine tune your warrior. Now personally for me, my hips are quite tight, so I always take my left foot towards the outer edge of the mat a little bit more. See if that cue is helpful for you. And then try moving the hips so that they face the front of your mat. Feel a lot of activation through the back leg, rooting down the outer edge of that left foot. A few breaths here. Even though this pose is so strong and you have to be organized, can you find some softness in it? Notice what the expression feels like right now, especially that space behind your third eye, but also on your face, between the brows. That's where we tend to tense up. Notice if that's tense and soften it. Okay, are you clenching your jaw? Is the tongue stuck to the roof of the mouth? All key things to soften. From here, we're gonna release the hands, interlace them, reach the knuckles down towards the earth. Open the heart, lift your gaze, inhale. Exhale, humble your warrior. We're gonna keep the hips square, keep your foundation strong, gather the belly once more as you reach the arms up and over, releasing your head. Try to keep the left hip down. Try to keep the 90-degree bend in your right knee. A couple of breaths sinking in. Take one more breath in. Exhale, release your arms. Inhale, back up to warrior one. Exhale, open up to warrior two. So we're just gonna modify Sun B a tiny bit today. Normally I would tell you to open up your stance quite a bit in warrior two, but because we're gonna flow through, you can keep your foundation the same as you find Virabhadrasana 2. Try to gaze over the right hand. Maybe close your eyes for a few breaths. Soften the shoulders, feel them melting down your back. Feel the heart open a little bit wider. Feel your strong center and your strong foundation. Flip your front palm over. Inhale, reverse your warrior. Let's hang just for a few breaths here, opening up that right side body. If you'd like, you can take a bind here, bringing your left hand behind you. Top right hand reaches for the left one. Keep your gaze lifted. Sink a little deeper into that right knee. Release your bind if you took one. Come back to warrior two. Now flip your front palm, inhale for one breath, reverse it. Exhale, take it all the way down, chaturanga, to the earth. Inhale, upward facing dog. Strong exhale, downward facing dog. Breath in through the nose here. Let it empty out through the mouth. Step your left foot through. Find Virabhadrasana 1 on this opposite side, back to your warrior 1. Right, foundation strong through both feet. And you try to feel that you're centered between both of your legs here, so that you're distributing the weight as equally as possible. Notice if you can soften anywhere. Strong, steady breath, shoulders soft, ribs soft, tailbone pointing down. Release the hands, interlace them. See if you can place the opposite thumb on top. Reach the knuckles to the earth. Open the heart, inhaling. Exhale, humble your warrior. Keep reaching that right hip towards the earth. Keep your center strong, your head heavy. Take a breath in. Exhale, release your bind. Inhale, warrior 1. Exhale, warrior 2. Few breaths. Eyes can close as the heart opens. Flip your front palm, inhale, reverse it. Peaceful warrior. Option to take that bind. It always feels different on both sides, so see what you can find. Lift your gaze, bend a little deeper into that knee. Return to warrior 2. Flip your front palm, inhale, one breath, reverse it. Exhale all the way down, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Okay, so we're adding in a couple of extra postures into our sun bees. The best thing to do here to feel that amazing flow is to widen the breath, slow it down, and link every single breath to your movements. I'll cue you for every single one. All right. With your inhale, lift the heels. Exhale, bend your knees, walk or float to the front. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, fold. Inhale to your chair pose, one breath in. Empty the breath as you fold. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing. Exhale, downward facing, stepping your right foot through. Inhale, warrior one. Exhale, humble your warrior. Inhale, warrior one. Exhale, warrior two. Flip your front palm. Inhale, reverse your warrior. Exhale, chaturanga, all the way down. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing, stepping the left foot through. Inhale, warrior one. Exhale, humble your warrior. Inhale, warrior one. Exhale, warrior two. Flip it over, inhale, peaceful warrior. Exhale, chaturanga, all the way down. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Long breath in. Empty it all the way out. Inhale, lift the heels. Exhale, bend your knees. Come to the front of your mat. Inhale, lengthen, lifting halfway. Exhale, hang your head and fold. Inhale, Utkatasana, your chair. Exhale, Uttanasana, fold. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, Urdhva Mukha, upward facing. Exhale, Adho Mukha, downward, right foot through. Inhale, Virabhadrasana 1. Exhale, humble your warrior. Inhale, warrior 1. Exhale, warrior 2. Inhale, reverse your warrior. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing. Exhale, downward facing. Step the left foot through. Breath in, warrior 1. Breath out, humble warrior. Breath in, warrior 1. Exhale, warrior 2. Flip your front palm. Inhale, reverse it. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Breath in. Breath out. Close your eyes, breathe in. Breathe out. Focus on the breath, listen to it. Keep the mind as quiet as you possibly can. Next breath in, lift the heels once again. Exhale, bend your knees. Make your way to the front of your mat. Inhale, lengthen halfway. Exhale, fold. Inhale, back to your chair pose, back to Utkatasana. We're going to add a twist to your chair. We'll go to the right side first, so bring the hands to the heart. Hinge forward a little bit at the hips, bring the belly in, and start rotating to your right side. So we want to try to keep the knees parallel. Keep dropping your seat and lifting your heart. Every exhale, try to rotate a little deeper through your center, through the rib cage. Feel them open as you wring it out. Option to open up your arms, go a little deeper in If you have arm balances in your practice, you could practice your side crow here. We have just a few more breaths. Take one more breath in. With your exhale, fold Uttanasana. Shake out your head, take another breath in. Full breath out. Inhale back to Utkatasana. Preparing to twist to the other side. Hands to heart center. Same hinge forward, belly gathers, start rotating to your left. Let every breath, carry you in a little deeper, really anchoring the back of that right arm on the outer edge of your left leg. Lift the heart. Try to shift your gaze up. And there's options here to open up the arms, or again, try your arm balance. And I encourage you, even if you've never tried something like side crow, just practice bringing your weight onto your hands. You don't even have to lift your legs. Right? Just trying to find a little bit of an edge every time you practice something new. Let's take one more breath in. With your exhale, fold. Deep inhale. Exhale, fold again. Now inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, chaturanga. Step it back. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. I just want to flow through that 2 times. So we're just going to do breath to one side, breath to the other side. I'll cue you in every single breath. Inhale, lift your heels. Exhale, bend your knees, walk or float forward. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, fold. Inhale to your chair pose. Exhale, twist to your right. Inhale to your chair. Exhale, twist to your left. Inhale back to Utkatasana. Exhale, fold. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Take a breath in. Empty the breath out. Let's go one more time. Inhale, lift your heels. Exhale, bend your knees. Walk or float to the front. Inhale, lengthen halfway. Exhale, fold. Inhale, chair. Exhale, twist to the right. Inhale, chair. Exhale, twist to your left. Inhale, chair one more time. Exhale, fold. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Breath in and a breath out. 3 more breaths. If you need a moment, you can always take child's pose here. Breathe in calm, quiet energy. Breathe out anything that might feel heavy. From here, let's step the right foot through again for warrior one. From warrior one, take a breath in. Exhale, warrior three, we're taking flight. Go slowly as you bring all the weight up onto that right foot. Lengthen the back left leg. Try and keep both shoulders and hips squaring towards the earth as you hinge forward. Heart stays open. Try and press your hands together. Strong and steady breath. Take one more breath in. Exhale, warrior two. Trikonasana from here, straighten your front leg. Go right into your triangle. Keep hinging at that right hip. Open the heart. Press the back of your right hand into the inner part of your right leg. Shift your gaze up. Soften the shoulders. Bring the shoulder blades together. Stay strong through your foundation and your center. Make sure you can float a little. And you're not side bending. Your spine is long. Take a breath in. Exhale, reach up into star pose. Fingertips to the sky. Toes slightly point outward. Take a breath in. Exhale, goddess. Pull the elbows back. Soften the shoulders down. Keep your spine long so the crown of your head is reaching up. Your tailbone is reaching towards the earth. Good. Breathe, breathe, breathe. Inhale, rise back up into star. Exhale, warrior two towards the back of your mat. Flip your front palm. Inhale, reverse your warrior. Exhale, cartwheel yourself down through chaturanga. You'll be facing the back of your mat. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Breath in and a breath out. Step your left foot through for warrior one, now facing the back edge of your mat. From warrior one, a deep inhale. Exhale, warrior three. Once again, really take your time as you find that balance aspect. Organizing your standing leg and your back leg and your center and your heart space. Try and press the hands together. Soft drishti gaze. Take a breath in. Exhale, warrior two. Trikonasana from here. Straighten your front leg. Keep the spine long as you hinge at the hips for your triangle. Really press into the front of that inner leg. Lift your gaze and then begin to soften. Feel light and airy as if somebody was lifting you from that top wrist. Inhale, star pose. Fingertips reach. Legs rotate slightly out. Take a breath in. Exhale, goddess. One more time. This time, I invite you to try and lift your heels off the earth. It's the last time we'll be in this posture today. See if you can find one little shift. Can you open your heart a bit wider? If your heels are lifted, release them to the earth. Inhale up to star. Exhale, warrior two to the front of your mat. Flip your front palm, reverse your warrior. And exhale, chaturanga to the earth. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing. Breath in through the nose. And empty it all the way out. Just a few balances and we'll come down to the earth. Walk your hands back to meet your feet. And then roll all the way up to standing. So you'll be at the back end of your mat for our balances today. We're gonna start in tree, Vrikshasana. So let's bring the right foot into the left leg first. And we'll start with classical Anjali Mudra, bind at your heart. Settle in, try to find softness in your gaze, that drishti. And then from here, we're going to release the hands, find an interlace one more time. Flare the heart open. And then humble this tree, just like you humbled your warrior, hinging at the hips, keeping the heart wide open, and being aware of how deeply you want to go in. Slowly rise back up. From here, we'll go into Uttita Hasta Padangustasana. Catch your right knee or foot, extend your left arm out, and then open up that right leg to the side. Try to shift your gaze somewhere over your left hand. Bring that right knee or foot back to center, and we'll take a twist, catching it with your opposite hand, rotating and looking over your right shoulder. Extend your right arm back. Come back to center, catch your knee or foot straight out in front of you. Release your foot. Step into Natarajasana, landing your right foot, catching your left hand or your left foot behind you, with your left hand. Start to open the heart and reach the left leg back in opposition. Really try and keep your hips and shoulders squaring towards the earth. Feel the oppositional energy. Keep that right arm plugged into the shoulder socket. Take one more breath in, your dancer's pose. Exhale, glide up to standing. Little reset. And we'll do that on the other side. So starting with our tree, Vrikshasana, let's bring the left foot in this time. You're always welcome to stay with your hands bound at your heart, Anjali Mudra, or you can begin to modify into this sort of humble tree, interlacing behind you, opening the heart, and slowly hinging forward. Slowly rise back up. Once you're upright, Uttita Hasta Padangustasana. Hand to the knee or the foot. Bring the left knee or foot forward. Catch it with your opposite hand for your twist. Come back to center. Extend your right knee or foot all the way forward. Let go, step into Natarajasana. taking your time to arrive. Dancer's pose. Take one more breath in. Exhale, glide up. Excellent. Step to the front of your mat. So vinyasa to come down to the earth. Inhale, sweep the arms. Exhale, dive down. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Jump or float your legs through. We're going to come onto our seat. I'm going to spin around. Just a little bit of belly work before we complete our practice. Navasana, boat pose. Drop the ribs down, drop the shoulders, lean back behind your sits bones. You can hold on to your legs as you extend them or reach the hands forward. Try to keep the shoulders down. The spine is like a capital C here, slightly flexed. Eyes on your feet. For 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Bring the knees in, lower your feet. Let's set up for bridge pose next. Onto your back, feet about hips width distance. We prepped for this during integration. I always like using my block to find the right spacing. Heels close to your bum, shoulder girdle anchored, chin and gaze up. Peel your spine off the mat for Setubandha Sarvangasana. Option to keep your arms long alongside you or interlace once more. We've done quite a bit of heart opening, so it might feel good to continue with that theme here. You can also find a supported bridge if you have a block. It feels so good. A few breaths. Keep following the rhythm of your breath. Keep cultivating presence. Know where to be. We're going to take about 5 more breaths. If you have Urdhva Dhanurasana in your practice, you can go right up into your wheel or stay in your bridge and just enjoy it for a few more breaths. When you're ready, make your way down. Go slowly. And because we extended the spine, we're going to flex it. Bring the knees into the chest. Lift your tailbone. Rock a little side to side. Take happy baby. Try to anchor down your sacrum. And then keep rocking a little more. Release your feet. Let's open the hips. So many options. If half pigeon is your go-to, go right into your half pigeon. I think today I'll cue for lizard lunge. So you'll rock up to seated and then swing your legs around. We can start through tabletop here. Find a runner's lunge. Once you find your runner's lunge, I'm just going to face the front here. We're going to walk that foot towards the outer edge of the mat, release the back knee down, and then let that leg fall outward. Option to stay lifted or release your forearms either to a block or all the way to the earth, and then at that point let the head go. Take one more long breath in, long breath out. Very slowly and gently bring yourself back to your runner's lunge. If you're doing a lizard lunge with me, press back to a plank position, and then we'll do the other side. Stepping your foot forward, runner's lunge, walking that foot out, coming onto the outer edge, releasing your back knee, and then finding what position of your arms feels best today. Staying upright or releasing to the earth. About 8 breaths. Take one more breath in and out. And slowly begin to ease your way out of this opposite side. If you're with me, we're going to walk the foot in, step back into a plank first, and then lower your knees and take a child's pose. Okay, decide what sounds good for inversion today. I'm going to go into Shirshasana headstand. I'll cue you. Yeah, I'll do a tripod one in case you want to check it out and try it today. Use the wall if you need to. For a more dynamic inversion, you could go into shoulder stand. Okay, for a more sort of energizing inversion, I would just take your legs up into a waterfall or a supported waterfall with your block under your sacrum. So decide what feels best. If you're going to try a tripod headstand, you're going to place your hands about hips width distance apart, bend your elbows and bring the crown of your head onto the earth. Okay? And then from there, go ahead and lift your hips up. Your elbows should be bent at about 90 degrees here. And then you're going to walk your feet forward as much as you can to try to stack the hips right over the shoulders. Make sure you're on the crown of your head. And then you can lift one leg by just bending the knee, and then the opposite. See if you feel stable with knees bent, and then at that point, you can lengthen your legs. We're trying to create a line here from the ankles to the hips to the shoulders. When you're ready to come down, you can reverse everything you did. So bending your knees, releasing one foot down, and then the other. It'll feel good to take a child's pose after that. If you are in a shoulder stand, you can transition into plow at any time. Take about 3 more breaths in your inversion. And then let's meet together in a seated position. I'll give you one more breath to arrive there. I always feel like I'm rushing us through this. These 60-minute practices are just not long enough. Okay, so we're gonna do sort of a reverse table, but we're gonna make it dynamic today. If you wanna stay inverted, by all means, if you have the time, stay there longer. If you're with me, so we're gonna bend the knees, feet are down, fingertips point outwards behind your hips. All right, a little bit of a power move here. We're gonna inhale, press into the feet, reverse table, lengthen your spine, look up, and then take a breath in. Exhale, you're gonna swing your hips through your arms. Try not to let your bum touch the floor and lengthen your legs. Little belly work. Inhale, bend the knees, reverse table, look up. Exhale, scoop the hips through, lengthen the legs. Use the lower belly to curl the tailbone. One more time. Inhale, reverse table. And exhale, scoop the hips through, float, float, float the hips, and then lower yourself down. Inhale, sweep the arms up. Exhale, fold over your legs. Roll yourself up to seated. Bring your hands behind your hips for fish pose. Forearms are going to land. Lift the heart. Gently release the head back. Melt your chin towards your heart. Lower yourself all the way down. Take a long body stretch. We're going to take one more breath in and out as you settle into your final resting pose. It could be corpse pose with the arms and legs apart. Supta Baddha Konasana might feel good. Just decide what feels best for today. We'll just spend a few minutes in Shavasana, but if you're able to stay longer, I encourage you to do so. Let's close the eyes. Take a giant breath in. Open your mouth, let it go. Shavasana. Be still. Gratitude